Yeah, and as I see, we're on live. Hello, chat. Hello, Kamal. Hello, Nadim. How are you doing today?
Not too bad, Gary. Thank you. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing good. I have a question for our chats. If you watched the previous webinar with Kamal, please text plus in the chat because it was very useful webinar about some tactics, about introduction, how to sell to the restaurant. And if you didn't watch, please open our YouTube channel and open the recording section and watch this webinar. It's very useful. And today it will be the second part of our webinar with Kamal and also with Nadim. Uh, I'm so excited because today I think it's more than webinar. It looks like the workshop because I believe that today you could see the real tactics how to set up meta ads, and you could see the real proven tactics. It's not just like a pitch about meta or some words about big success. It's a real story, it's a real tactics, real screen share, and real presentation. And right now, I think we could start. Stage is yours, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Gary. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
the
Gary. Let's get into it.
happy to be here once again. And yeah, we'll just get right started. So I think, Gary, you've hit the nail here. So with us, it's all about the strategies. You have to really understand your audience and then come up with strategies accordingly to in order for you to get clients and close them. So it's not too long ago we were considered or I would consider ourselves as a new agency. So when you're starting in the beginning, so you may be an experienced agency or a new agency, somebody starting in the beginning. A lot of the stuff that we do is we try and do it for new agencies. So when you're just about getting started, and when you're getting started, it's all about knowing your audience, knowing exactly what strategy you're going to use for which audience, and doing it in a way where it makes sense. There's a structure to it, and in the end, there's conversions basically. So this is one of the other strategy, and I would say again, once again, is more for people who are getting started. So this one is using meta ads and of course boomerang as well. So let's get right into it. Nadim, do you want to go into the first slide?
Yeah, let's go into it. So, you begin. You zoom out slightly. Here we go.
There you go. Awesome. So why meta? I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. Why meta ads? Well, quite simple. There's a massive audience. It's powerful for targeting kind of location, interest, and behavior based. It's very cost effective. And the big one is that all the SMBs are pretty much on there. You know, from marketing managers to business owners, your prospects are on there. Definitely, that's for sure. So it's now up to you what strategy you're going to use to actually get them and pay attention to yourself. A lot of our clients come from Meta. Like I said, they're there. You know, so we just need to find them with the right strategy. If you go into the next slide, Nadim. Okay, so again, going back to the strategies again. So it's all about crafting the ads that gets you meeting booked and is step by step. So with everything that we do is kind of bite-sized and all the goals are bite-sized. So it's not like one massive goal and then how do you achieve that? So our initial goal is on Meta is not to sell to them, but just to get a booking, right? Let's speak to them first, you know, face-to-face live. Let's speak to them and then we'll see how we can convert them. So this is our mindset when we go into do ads. So as the title says, they craft the ads that gets you meetings booked. And so you need to make your ads designed for booking, not selling the product directly there and then on the ads. So the key principles are big, bold offers, you know, clear and easy to understand, very compelling call to action, make it interesting for the prospect to click and book their meeting, and of course use appropriate appointment booking system like Calendar or GHL if you have that. So an example that we use, and then we'll probably base this just to make things a lot more easier, we'll base this presentation or webinar around this specific campaign that we've run when we were kind of starting out. We no longer run this anymore, is because we're at a stage where we don't have to. But this, for beginners, it's amazing. It's awesome. And even if somebody wants to later, or even if you want to go back and get more, volume of clients, which we're not after at the moment. But if you did, we would go back to definitely this would be one of our go-to strategies. So where we say, okay, the ad is something like we'll get you 100 new customers in 14 days, or you pay nothing. Book your free call strategy. So whoever you're targeting, in terms, it could be restaurants, it could be salons. As you know, we target restaurants, and that's our clients. So we go out to restaurants, we target restaurants, and we say, hey, we will get you 100 new customers in the next 14 days, or you pay nothing. Book a free call strategy. So that's our kind of strategy here.
Yeah. So
some of the ads.
Yeah. So just going through some of the ads now. A picture sort of speaks 1,000 words. So these are examples of some of the styles that we use for our ads. And as you can see, they're very simple. Like it's good to always experiment with photos and videos, but this is what's worked really well for us. And as you can see here, there's generally a rule of thumb to follow when it comes to ads that are optimized for generating leads for your agency. So for example, here we've called that directly the people that we're trying to attract, which is restaurant owners. And we're saying what our offer is, we'll get you 100 new customers guaranteed, get started for free. So literally kept it very clean, very simple, and straight to the point. And this was one of our highest performing ads. So we generated 44 leads from this one. And yeah, it's just a simple ad. It works well, straight to the point. All we're doing is getting them to book an appointment, not actually like going into the specifics about, okay, what exactly it is that we're doing. But we just want them to be interested enough that they're going to attend the meeting so they can hear us out and answer any questions and have a full understanding of what solution it is that we're going to provide.
Yeah. So like I said, we're not trying to sell the product there and then. We want to make the offer so bold, so interesting that they're just booking in the call and without thinking too much, And as you can see from the ads, you don't need like an amazing graphics guy or anything. The ads, can be very simple and they work. If you go down, next slide, please, Nadim. So like I said, nothing fancy there. So the key thing here is just start with the clear client acquisition strategy here. So before you begin, you have to say, okay, well, what is my strategy? What am I going to do? Is it going to be like a results-driven free trial like we've done? Is it going to be a guarantee-based campaign? 100 customers in 14 days. Industry-specific problem solving, fill your tables, kind of thing, because we're in the restaurant. Or if you're focusing on salon as an example, fill in your calendar, or we're going to add 10 clients in your calendar in the next 14 days, or you don't pay. Something like this, right? Something big and bold. And don't worry, I'm coming to the you don't pay part in terms of how we do that. That is also very strategic. So like I said, our example was 100 new clients in 2 weeks. So it's high impact, works for restaurants. It could work for salons, gyms, and anything similar when you're saying, okay, X amount of customers in X amount of days. And you've got this crazy promise as well to go with that. Now the next slide.
Yeah, 100%. Just to add to that, I think it is very important. A lot of agencies do make the mistake of almost not niching down. Like for example, when you do see agencies, they'll say, oh, if you own a business that's making X amount of revenue or this or that. What people do really like, for example, if you're a restaurant owner, you want to see, okay, you provide a solution for restaurants, or you provide a solution for salons or gyms or whatever you are. So it is always good to almost niche down and say, okay, if you're in this industry, here's something for you. So yeah, just something to quickly add to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the big question, so probably is in everybody's mind, is a free trial worth it? Well, yes and no. For us, the way I see it, or for anybody, I advise, if you're getting started, yes, it's worth it. for us, when we started, it was definitely worth it because, we were quite quickly and easily able to scale and get to a stage where we decided, you know what, should we do free trials anymore or should we not? We're at that stage. So in the beginning, yes. However, this particular strategy is slightly different. Because one of the reasons why people think, oh, is free trial worth it? Because you're thinking, okay, low quality clients, I'm going to give time and energy for nothing, that kind of thing. Whereas this one is slightly different because the clients, they're still paying something because they will pay for the ad spend. So they're engaged and invested. So the whole point about, okay, if they're free, if they don't pay, then they won't engage, they won't be invested in this together with us. That's kind of taken care of because they're not paying for your service for 2 weeks. However, they are paying for the ad spend, right? The service is free, but the other side, they have to pay the ad spend. So, which means they do have skin in the game. And this is ideal for new agencies, like you said, because you're showing results first without, asking them for money, which builds trust fast. And, if you've seen my previous webinar, this is like one of the things. You have to build credibility. You have to build trust. If you don't have credibility, or you can't build trust quickly, then it's going to be very hard for you to sell anything, right? So as you grow, you can remove the free trials. If you think, okay, no, I don't like it, I don't want to give the time and energy, and you've got enough clients now, yeah, no problem, remove it. That's not an issue. But in the beginning, definitely, I think it's definitely worth it. Like I said, it's worked for us. So like I said already, we no longer offer them, but they worked extremely well when we started out. And the moment we want to scale and get like big volumes, we would definitely go back to this one. So that hopefully clarifies that. Now then, do you want to go into the next one, next stage? Okay. So now the next step is, okay, so now we know what the strategy is. You've decided what the strategy is going to be. We've given you an example of what we use, right? You're going to do a meta ads, right? So how do you bring kind of Boomerang into it, and which mechanism do you, because Boomerang offers a lot. You don't want to complicate it too much, right? So which mechanism do you kind of focus on and bring in? So our go-to, and the one that works really well with this strategy, is the coupon card, right?
Yeah.
So remember, we're saying we're offering them 100 free customers in the next 2 weeks. So essentially what we're saying is that these 100 customers will download the coupon, basically. So this is
go into that, to just dive into how that works. We're having a couple of questions about that. So the whole thing of, okay, how do we get these 100 customers? So the way that works is we'll generate an ad on behalf of the restaurant, and we will use obviously the coupon mechanism, which is, as you can see, even as Boomerang recommends, it says best for acquisition. So there's multiple advantages to using the coupon. So one of them is you can add your own design, you can sort of customize it a little bit easier. It's very clear and easy, and makes the sort of customer journey on both sides, from the staff to actually scan it and for the customer to use it very easily. So that's why we sort of recommend going with the coupon. It is the sort of the smoothest operation that we've found, and it's one of the quickest to get set up as well. And yeah, so that's why there's the we use a coupon for this particular offer.
Yeah, simple, proven, and it delivers trackable results. So on the Boomerang dashboard, as you can see, you can tell exactly how many customers, how many was downloaded in terms of the coupons, how many came to the restaurant or the business, what their figures were in terms of, so all that, results, everything is there. So coupon works well. Firstly, high volume potential, easy for the customers to understand and for the staff to redeem as well, because that's another thing. Right in the beginning, you don't want things too complicated. You want something nice and easy, it's trackable, and it's in your face. You can see it. Okay, I can see it working. Even the first customer that downloads the actual coupon in the wallet, and the business owner can see it on a dashboard, like, even that is very exciting because they can see it working, basically, and as the numbers grow, it's something that they've not seen before. These kind of, for SMBs especially, these kind of trackable results, they're not used to, and when they see that, they're like, oh wow, this is awesome. But obviously you need to get to that stage. So A smooth sign-up experience as well for everyone involved, including the customers, and of course the data advantage. Remember, you are collecting the customer data before they even visit the establishment, the business, and that is huge when you talk about it in your meetings with the business owner. So of course, follow-ups and other opportunities are there, right?
Yeah, 100%. So a prime example of that is, for example, here we have 684 customers that have signed up, and 48 that have come in. So the way to put it is, imagine me as a restaurant, I onboard a restaurant right now, today, and we get an ad live going, but it starts tomorrow. Even if that ad live goes live right now, we'll see who's signed up before tomorrow even comes, pretty much. So we'll say, okay, we spent $10 on ads today, and before the days even started and before the offers even kicked in, we can see that, okay, we've got 20 customers that have signed up. So we can say, okay, it's going well, it's going according to plan, and we're getting the traction that we were expecting. So it's a really, really good way to almost forecast the results. And like Kamal said, it's something that, you know, these restaurant owners and these business owners in general are not used to seeing. Usually everything that they do is a bit of a shot in the dark, but giving them this extra value and this extra data is really, really valuable to them.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to go on to the next step? So the agency campaign flow. So pretty much it boils down to this. You run a meta ad with a bold offer. The lead opts in via a form landing page, right? It could even be the built-in Facebook lead capture form. It doesn't have to be nothing fancy. In fact, for our campaign, we use the native built-in one from Facebook, right? So immediate link to book a call, Calendly, GHL calendar, whatever it is, right? So for the client to book, and then the strategy call. So this is where you're getting on a Zoom call with them, and you are explaining how it works. So just on the previous slide, what we've spoken about, the coupon cards and how it works and how they can track the data, X, Y, and Z, all that stuff. And of course, you're offering them a 2-week free trial. They're saying, right, you pay for the ad. I'm so confident I'm going to get you the results. Obviously, you know what my promise is, that I'm willing to do it free of charge for 2 weeks. And of course, you run an offer for them now. So you're pretty much replicating what you've done for yourself, for your client, right? So now you need to get the client to agree on an offer for their customers, and then you run an ad for them. Pretty much the same as what you've done for yourself, you're doing it for them. The only difference here is you're using the coupon card, right? And then, of course, you show results and you upsell to the full package. So now, do you want to briefly go through in terms of what we go through on the call?
Right. Okay. So we've got a presentation that we go through. So when it comes to obviously they see the ad, so they'll click onto it and they'll arrange a meeting. And on that meeting, we go through how we do what we do, essentially. So this is where we sort of introduce ourselves and we say, okay, this is who we are. We're a tech and marketing solution for restaurants. I'm not going to bore you with these bits, but the important bit is from this side of it, basically, where we say, okay, we're going to get you 100 customers, and with us, what really reassures these sort of the prospects and the clients is we deliver first. So it's a free trial. So it really, really emphasized that it's a free trial, and we're so confident in what we do that we're willing to deliver first, almost, which not a lot of companies will provide to these restaurants anyway. Generally, every single company will want payment up front, or they'll want some form of commitment first. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't ask for any commitment. We do obviously ask for some commitment. Like, we don't tell them, don't abandon the campaign halfway or put a certain deposit down or little things like this. But we say, okay, we deliver first, and that really sort of is a bold sort of statement that really sort of resonates with them. And then we go into the specifics of how it works, and we go into the strategy, the technology, talk about Boomerang, talk about the cards, and why the strategy works. So we talk about it's a lead generation campaign. It's exclusive. So obviously we're in the restaurant space, so we say it's exclusive for restaurants. We've tried this. It works beautifully. And there's advantages to it with the data and the result on the back end. So the results that we generate, aren't just impressions and views and clicks. It is actually customer data. So if you can sort of get that sort of message across of how valuable the data is to a restaurant owner, it becomes really easy to make them understand, okay, this is where it's going. And then I try to keep things quite short and simple as to how to get started as well, because it does sound like, oh, we're going to be doing a lot, but in terms of the commitment that we require to get started, we don't need much. So this is a slide that I sort of spend a little bit of time on, where we talk about, okay, here's what we're going to need from you to begin with. So we usually ask for 3 things. So decide what you'll give to the customers. So to the restaurant, they say, oh, we're going to give 25% off or something like that. So what we need is an offer. We need some content, so as much content and as high quality content as we can, and access to their ads manager. So what we did is we ran a Facebook lead generation ad on their behalf. So all we need is access to their ads manager, content, and an offer. And that's it. That's all the resources that we need to just get started and get going with a campaign. And then there's obviously the other benefits to this campaign as well. So like we mentioned beforehand, talking about even before a customer comes in, you'll be able to see how well the campaign is doing. So that's the sense of transparency. So we're saying you'll know exactly what you need to about the performance and the customers that are signing up before sort of results start coming in as well. So we can almost forecast the result. And then there's the emphasizing of the one strategy as well. So it's something that we've done before. We've tried it. It's tried, tested. We've tried to. It's bulletproof. basically. We've got a system that's worked, and we think that your product and service and your food in your restaurant will work perfectly within it.
I just
So do you want to say something?
one moment, Nadim. Sorry. So, guys, so this part, so this is obviously when you're on the call with your client, right? So,
Yeah.
really, really important things here. So, one of the things Nadim mentioned, the part about we deliver first, you kind of drill down into it, right? Yeah. And the part Nadim's talking about now. Now, understand this. In terms of the data, or even the fact that we're able to do this campaign, is because of the data that Boomerang provides. We're able to actually do something like that, because we can show proof from pretty much from day one, right? From the day that the ad go live, from tomorrow, we can say, hey, look, we've already started. We're already getting results for you. And for small business owners, for SMBs, this is something, and I've mentioned a few times, and I keep emphasizing on it. This is something they've not seen before. This data, this results quickly, and is tangible, and you can show it. Look, because of what I'm doing, this is what you're getting. That level of transparency doesn't even exist, with the SMBs, and Boomerang makes it so nice and so easy for us to be able to do that. And that's the thing you need to really sell it on, is that I'm delivering first, and look, it's very transparent, it's very clear. I'm not one of them, wishy-washy agency that's going to promise you the world and show nothing. I'm going to show you. And, if in the end, what I show you isn't good enough, that's fine. We part ways. I'm not saying that, this is going to, completely change your business. If you're not happy with the results that you see, that's fine, we part ways. But if you are happy with the results, which 9 out of 10, they are happy because they've not seen anything like it before, they kind of move forward. Sorry, Nadim.
Yeah, we just received a comment from Norbert. A really good question. Why would the restaurant owner use your agency instead of going with Boomerang themselves? So that's a fantastic question, and the restaurant owner probably might ask that. And the answer to that is Boomerang is a tool, and when it comes to it, a tool like any other is all it is. It's not the tool that's going to get you the result. It's how you use the tool. The same way I can give you a hammer and a nails, that doesn't mean you can build a house and get it together. The fact is, we spent time, money, research, effort into finding out a strategy that works, and that's what the benefit of going with us is. You're like you said, why would the restaurant owner? That's what their job is. You're a restaurant owner. It's something where focus on what's important on running the restaurant side of things. This side of things is a tool that we know how to use best, and we've got really good results. And it'll probably be quicker for us to get you results through us rather than you trying to figure these things out yourself, sort of thing. So that's the sort of answer to that. To continue with the presentation, going back to what Kamal said about the results and the data. it's a lot of fluff that restaurant owners in particular deal with when it comes to marketing and the results that they gain. Generally, it is literally just reach and clicks. Like that's all that a restaurant owner usually sees. But because we have so much more data, it's really what they want to see. They don't want to know that, oh, we've got 100,000 views, because as much as you got 100,000 views, if it's not translating into customers sitting in the restaurant, it doesn't mean anything. What we're saying for is, we want what you want. It's not sort of we're working for metrics that mean nothing. We're aiming for bookings. We want customers to actually come in and make a transaction in your restaurant. And not only that, there's value in the data, because what we're doing is we're building an email list, a phone number list, a birthday list. We have all we're doing is building and building and building on a data list that we can constantly keep coming back to. So there's long-term results in the marketing and in the strategy that we are doing. And from here, it's a matter of, it's quite simple as to how things go from here in terms of, okay, this is what we need to get started. This is how it works. These are the results that you're going to get. There's 3 very important things that you've made clear to a customer, and you're almost ready to get started at this point. So this is when it comes to sort of almost closing in a way. Here we sort of plant the seed as well for the service, which I'm not going to go too much onto, but the whole idea of a free trial is you want to sort of plant the seed and upsell later. So it's something that we did was talk about our other services. And it is something maybe to mention, but obviously it depends on the sort of service and the stack of solutions that you provide.
One of them is our service. One of them is loyalty, because naturally coupon card, and then obviously we want them to use the core platform of or core mechanism of Boomerang, which is the loyalty element of it, right? Which then locks them in for a very long time. So we kind of plant that in that initial call. But of course, then we go back to, okay, that's fine. You showed up on the call. Great. I've told you about X, Y, and Z. It's free of charge. What do you think? Yes, shall we go for it? And, our conversion has been pretty good in terms of from this point onwards. One question, if nobody's asked yet, I'm sure some of you guys are thinking, is, okay, do they not object to the ad budget? Because that wasn't clear on the ad itself, because it was like, okay, it's going to be free of charge. You know what? 9 out of 10, they're okay with it. Like the one person that will say, oh yeah, I don't want to pay for the ad budget, blah, blah, blah. You pay for everything. Of course, we don't entertain that person. But 9 out of 10, they're okay. They understand it. They get it. They're very impressed at this stage with everything that we go through, and everything that even you will go through if you decide to use this strategy, because like I said, it's very strategic, and the data and everything that you're able to provide through Boomerang, it makes it so much easier, for you to build that confidence with them.
Yeah. So a couple of questions. Kamal was sort of answering a question that no one asked, but some of them we have asked. We have got a couple of questions here. So from Fernando, you asked, how much do you ask the restaurant to invest a month on ads? So really, really good question. So we generally ask for about 10. So we're in the UK, so we say £10 per day over 14 days. So £140 sort of all in. Obviously, they can sort of spend more and say, maybe £10 to £15 a day, or if they want to spend less. But we generally recommend, all right, about £10 a day is a sweet spot where you'll see enough results for you to start seeing a difference. So it's not major amounts. We're saying, oh, we need $500 a month straight away, or $1,000 ad budget. We're literally saying, and breaking it down per day is really important. We're literally saying, £10 or $10 per day. And whatever you pay in ads, you'll get that in return, essentially. And another question that Nandan asked was, do you convert the coupons into other cards as part of the offer? For this one, no, we don't. Just for the sake of simplicity and to get things started quickly, we just keep this one as a coupon, and then we introduce the sort of reward card and the actual full-term loyalty plan in the following months, basically, because then it requires too much commitment and planning and things to get started. If it's simply just a one offer, 25% off, it's simple. It's like, okay, we're doing one offer. It's not really leading to anything else at this point in time. It just makes things simple, and it makes things quick and easy to just get things moving.
Yeah, the other thing is, you don't want to use all your ammunition here. It's already good enough. You're giving them a free trial. You're going to get them customers. They understand how it works. But remember, after the 2 weeks, you're only doing it for 2 weeks. But after the 2 weeks, you want another meeting with them. You go through the results. And then you're saying, by the way, moving forward, if you decide to do it, the coupon card also becomes this. And then the data is there. And then you can, you've got some data now to really explain to them, well, if I've managed to do this in 2 weeks, now you have, let's just say 500, 1,000, customer data with email, with SMS. You can send unlimited notification. Yeah. Imagine another 2 weeks. Imagine another 2 months. Imagine another 2 years. How much data you'll have, and I can do X, Y, and Z. You've now built that trust, built that confidence. You're now. You say, okay, it's going to cost X amount, per month for you to carry on using this. But hey, it's not just this. We have loyalty. We have this. We have that. We have whatever you have. You want to provide, and you can provide. Of course, the Boomerang services are there as well.
Yeah, it's something where we're saying, look, it's a free trial. We're not going to give you everything straight away. We're going to show you the basics first, and then, if you like this, you're going to love X, Y, Z, because there's so much more for where that came from. You thought, okay, now you're sort of, because what it does is it gives them that sort of, once they've got that 2-week trial, what I actually have is, in my experience, what I've faced is, during that 2-week trial, after that, they start seeing, okay, I've got numbers, I've got email, I've got data here, basically. And before I've even started to upsell to customers, to the clients, to the restaurant owners, they're already in their head planning on what they want to do, which is already part of my plan. So, for example, they're saying, I've noticed we've got some birthdays here. Can we send them a birthday message? I was like, that's literally part of our plan. And that is something that we do set up on the main plan. Or, for example, they can see that, let's just say they've had 100 customers sign up and only 20 of them have come in. Okay, what can we do to the other 80 that haven't come in? Can we send them a text or an email? I was like, yeah, that's part of the plan. So you're starting to get it now when you're starting to understand these things. So it's a good conversation to have. And in my experience, it does generally lead on to those sort of conversations. There's a couple more questions. So Eugene asked, what if the restaurant doesn't have a Facebook ads account or is not familiar with all that? We generally tend to run ads on their behalf, just because depending on who you're speaking to, it depends on their experience with ads, and you can sort of gauge it from the conversation of if they've used Ads Manager before or if they haven't. But when it comes to our ads, they're generally very, very simple. Like we do, they're generally graphic and image based, with just a little bit of overlay and text. And it says, okay, 25% off food, get your voucher now, whatever it is. So we generally do that for them. So if they don't have an account, either you can potentially have an arrangement where they pay you they pay you the ad budget into you first, and then you run off of your own central account, or you can actually go in and create their ads account for them, and say, you can charge for that as well if you want, and say, your accounts aren't set up, I'm going to need this to set up your account. But just get things moving. The ads management on Facebook is a little bit sort of frustrating sometimes. It's a little bit technical sometimes, and it doesn't always work straight away. But if it's something that you're already familiar with, I'd 100% recommend to just run ads on their behalf.
There's YouTube videos and everything for everybody to go on to see how it works, and troubleshooting and stuff.
Also, and then Jason also asked, how much do you ask the restaurant to invest on a month on ads? Pretty much, we say data on a daily basis, £10. So answer that one.
Sure. Should we go on to the next slide?
Yeah. So, okay. So this is generally the conversation that we have, and we sort of try and close things here. Do you want to get started? It's a risk-free trial. What have you got to lose? And then this is the sort of bit where we close. So I'm going to just go back to the presentation now. So closing with confidence,
which we kind of been through. So we can go on to the next slide. Okay, so this one, very important. So showing the results to build trust and, social proof, basically. So, of course, it's always difficult to get your first client, because you have no other client, you can't really show much results. And this is why this works when you're offering a free trial, because, you don't have to rely so much on results. However, once you've got your first client, the second clients and onwards only gets easier, because now you can use your previous results to show them X, Y, and Z. And some of the kind of metrics that especially restaurant owners or any SMB, small business owners, whether it be restaurant owners, salon, gyms, beauty parlors, whoever, right? where you're able to tell them, okay, it will cost you X amount per either booking, per amount, per reservation. When you're able to give them that figure, right, that's something they absolutely love, because in their mind they start doing the maths. Okay, well, so if next month I want X amount of clients, X amount of extra customers, then I would need to spend this much, X, Y, and Z. So the cost per lead, and then the cost per booking, whatever that might be. So again, that I'm sure you're familiar with Boomerang. That is quite crystal clear on the dashboard in terms of what their cost per lead is and what the cost per booking is. So actually, that's not on Boomerang, but it's something with the data that you have in Boomerang. You're very easily able to work out what that is basically, and then you present that to them. You can quite easily say, oh, I specialize in salons. Here's an example of a salon that I worked with. The cost per lead is X amount, and cost per booking is X amount. You're able to do that. So,
for example, here, this is actually an actual case, sort of numbers of a case study where we actually did this. So, for example, we said, okay, we generated you 699 leads for 26 pence per lead. We had 157 bookings at £1.15 each. And then once you break down the numbers to them like that and saying, okay, every table that I bring you is costing you £1.57, and they're going to spend at least, $40 to $60 or however much the average order spend is there, it becomes very simple maths to just keep these guys on board by saying, okay, you're getting this table in for £1.15. They're going to spend way more than that. It's simple maths. That's a good price to get a table in at. So keep it going, and then it plants the seed in for the future heads.
Yeah, and the what you just seen, obviously that's crazy results. Getting a table for £1 something. However, just bear in mind, so it balances out, because what we try and convince them and what we try and do is that because this is a coupon and this is a one-time offer, that's very important. For a restaurant or even for any other service-based SMBs, is where we're saying, okay, it's a coupon, so that means they only get the offer once, but the next time, they're coming in again without any coupons if you give the good service and if you have a good product, that is. So the important part is one time, and especially for restaurants, right? That restaurant is somewhere people visit, repeat visits, right? So they're only given the discount first time. So although this booking is at £1.50, and that's like amazing, absolutely amazing, this particular restaurant has done a really good offer for them to be able to get the £1.50. So when you add the offer and this, it kind of balances out. But look, like I said, next time the customer comes back, they're not offering anything, they're not spending money to get the customer back in. Obviously, by then they'll be part of the loyalty program as well. We'll do whatever needs to be done to bring them back in. So that's very, very powerful.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next.
Linda asked how much the package if they say yes after 14 days. Obviously, yourselves as agency owners, it's something where I'm sure you guys offer a mixture of solutions. So, for example, content creation or ads management or email marketing or or whatever it is. It's a matter of whatever services that you provide, you sort of bundle and package them up, and then you say, okay, for X, Y, Z, I charge this much. So in our case, we mainly charge for like a full sort of account setup. And ads management, and we try to charge about £500 per month plus that, so about £600. So that's what it is for us. But for every agency at every different stage, it's different, and for what's worth it for you, might not be worth it for me, and vice versa. So it depends on what you can sell them at, what's worth it for the restaurant, as well as that. You need to also bear in mind how much are they going to spend on ad budget? Because, for example, let's just say they're spending $500 with you and they've not really got much budget to work with on marketing, and they only give you $100 to spend on ads. Then it becomes really difficult to say, okay, you can't get more results when you've got very little budget to work with, and these sort of things. So these packages are sort of all custom to you. But it's what you can sell it at, and however much you can sell it at, and what other services that you can cross sell with them. But yeah, scaling it once it works, that's the next sort of step. And
I think we've sort of been through it. We're kind of ahead of our presentation, it seems like. So yeah, On that part, look, another thing we always say to our clients is that, and especially with the small businesses, so there are small businesses that are doing really well and they know what they're doing. There are small businesses they're not doing so much well, right? So, and you'll realize, or what we've realized is that some of these small businesses, they're trying, they want to, grow, and they want to increase their business. And a lot of them will have a social media agency doing posting for them, keeping an eye on the inbox, these sort of things. And they pay fairly decent money. And one of the things we always say is that whatever return you're getting, whatever your ROI is for this social media agency or social media company. And by the way, we used to do this previously as well. Social media management, whatever the return is, we're very confident that you'll get a lot more, and it's tangible and you can see it. So sometimes we've even had them canceling their social media management agency and using that money on this side. And yeah, they have definitely seen better results comparatively, because with the social media management, everything needs to be right for it to work. It needs to be a good brand. It needs to be known. It needs to be, the food needs to look awesome. It needs to take, everything needs to be just right for for the influencers and social media management, for that side to work. And a lot of small business, unfortunately, they don't, it's not right. The presentation of food, maybe it's not as Instagrammable as somebody else. So they're doing the wrong thing in that sense, because social media is all about fancy looking food, things like that. So that's another thing, is what are they spending money on already, and is that necessarily the right thing? Because 9 out of 10, what we do, which is pretty much lead gen for them, it works, and they find out very quickly. It's not do it for 3 months, do it for 6 months, do it for 1 year, and then you see results. No, you start today, from tomorrow you start seeing results. Give it a week, you see more results. Give it a month, you'd be able to make up your mind that, what, I think this is worth it for me, or it's not. So we're not going to tell you, these are the conversations we have with the clients, that you tell us whether you think X amount per booking, X amount per lead is what we're getting you, and we have the numbers, the figures, the stats, the data for you as well, to show it to you. Is that worth it for you? Is this good for you? If it is, fantastic, let's move forward. If it's not, no problem. We tried, it's not worked. So
Yeah.
that works really.
Yeah, so Howard raises a really, really good point here. So he said, problem with social media management is you can't track who's coming in from the post. And then he said, tracking is a great way to convince restaurant owners to Boomerang works. It's literally hit the nail on the head. The fact that you can say, okay, this customer has come from my ad, because the thing is as well, bear in mind, if a customer's come from social media, you'll never really know that they've come from social media. But the difference is with Boomerang, and the beauty of it is every customer that comes in is literally going to be coming in with the wallet in their cart, and they're saying, I've got this, and they'll know exactly that, oh, that pass there, that technology has come from this new agency that we're trying, so it must be working. So you're tracking it with a coupon. Not only that, you're not just tracking, oh, this customer's come from this avenue, but you've got so much more information on him. You've got his name, you've got his number, you've got his email. You can get a review from him with a simple email. You can send him a message on his birthday. You can do so much more. And that's what really, is when restaurant owners start seeing the lights. Really, they're seeing everything else that I'm doing is I can't track it. I don't really know what's working. And you have to think, the restaurant industry overall it's very seasonal. It's dependent on the weather. It's dependent on the time of month. It's dependent on the day. It's constantly up and down, up and down, up and down. And with social media, if you speak to any restaurant, if you ask them about social media, and you say to them, how much do you really think has impacted it? They wouldn't really be able to tell you, because they don't know who's coming and who's not. They're going off of just gut. They're just going, oh, I think it might have gone up a little bit this month, or it was a little bit down last month. And that's why you see so much churn with agencies and restaurants. So what happens is a restaurant will onboard another agency. The agency, the restaurant aren't seeing results, and they're in a vicious cycle of just going through different types of marketing agencies. But like you said, with numbers, the numbers don't lie. You're saying, okay, I've spent this much, I've acquired this customer's come in, he's spent this much, and going through the whole journey of how this customer's heard of you to the point of the customer putting money into your till pretty much, and then how you can get him to come in again and have this as a repeat visit. And that's what business owners want to hear. So it's a really, really good point. The numbers is what restaurant owners want to see. They're almost deprived of numbers. These people have never seen these sort of metrics before in their life. And the fact that now we can say, okay, we have these for you now, it's an eye opener for these guys. So you really, really want to go in with, okay, this is what I have, but also highlight, okay, I have this data, but highlight as well, those guys don't have the data. So this is why it's so much better. Howard also mentioned, what do you think about QR trackable postcards, street marketing? It's a fantastic way of doing it. Literally, in the UK especially, leafleting used to be massive. Like every restaurant, if you're opening a restaurant, they used to send a leaflet. But now we've seen no restaurants do that at all because they're saying, oh, I can't track it, it's expensive, I don't know who's come from where. But you can literally do that with Boomerang now, because all it requires is, instead of just like a full menu drop, literally just a one-page A5, and we're saying, okay, 25% off grand opening with a QR code. And what you're able to do is generate data from a physical leaflet or a postcard. So it's a really, really effective. We've seen it before. We've tried it. It works really, really well. So plugging that in with Boomerang, it's another avenue that you can sell. Corey goes, and this can all be linked to high level. Yes, if you've got the integration with GHL, it works beautifully. And obviously, if you're aware of how to use and how to really utilize Go High Level, that's your email marketing sorted and your automation. Obviously, Boomerang have just introduced the automations natively as well, so that's a really good tool to start using. But GHL is a crazy, powerful tool. So there's a lot of possibility that you can sell. Which is what we do personally as well. We use GHL.
Just on this, Nadim, and I'll tell you, just to give you an example of how amazing this is. So, very recently, we had a campaign where it was an offer, and we obviously have all the data from Boomerang, and it's plugged into GHL. So what we've done is we've done an email campaign. We've sent an email, and then at the same time, so we had a UTM for that. Okay, the emails, and here's the links, to the coupon card. Send the email, UTM that says, okay, this is an email, so we know this is coming from the email, and then the coupon card download. And at the same time, the restaurant's social media management team, they posted it on the social media side, and 95% of the customers came through the email. 5% were from the social media. And one of the busiest day they've had was that day, basically. So it's very powerful. The data is very, very powerful, and this customer has been with us for quite some time, so they've got a lot of data. The data is extremely powerful, and it just goes to show, when you have the right data and you do the right thing at the right time, it really works. And with the social media is great, but you have to be very strategic. You have to know what you're doing. Right? Whereas with this, 9 out of 10, doesn't matter if it's a restaurant or anybody else, any other sector, you can almost go in quite confidently and say, whatever you're doing, I can do it better. Even if you've got an amazing social media team and it actually works, it actually converts, great, no problem. Just plug in this system as well, Boomerang, as in the coupon card. Now you'll know exactly what is working. Maybe this type of content is working, maybe that's not working, but you don't know that. Something is working, but you don't know what it is. Now you're able to do that. So so like it's not just the meta ads, you can go down different avenues, but really it's the power that Boomerang gives you, especially with the data.
Corey's just mentioned Corey's just mentioned partnering this with reputation management. Absolutely. It's something that we do ourselves. We've got flows for when a customer scan their card, there's a little bit of a delay, and then a customer receives an email to ask them how their food was, and it pushes for reviews. So there's so many other points where this adds benefit to the business. Not only are they attracting new customers, they're retaining their existing customers, they're getting a better reputation, they're engaging with their customers more. It just wins on every single aspect.
And again, these are the ammunitions that you're keeping later. So remember, obviously this webinar is first you're doing an ad just to get a booking, just to get them on a Zoom call, right? Or whatever you use. So do an ad, get them on a Zoom call, talk about the free campaign. You know what? Let's not talk much. Let me do it free of charge for you. Let me show you what I can do for you first. Get them the results, initial results. They see the results, they're happy, right? They like you, they're confident in you. Then you're going in with all these other ammunition. Well, by the way, your social media team, are they good? If not, let's get rid of them, replace them with this. They are good. Okay, awesome. Now you'll be able to track. Okay, do you do menus? No flyers. Okay, here's what we can do with the coupon. So you think about all these little strategies, your reviews, X, Y, and Z, whatever. You tell them this is what we can do. And of course, the main thing, okay, how about returning clients, returning customers? These guys came once. It doesn't make sense for you to pay again to get them back again, right? They should be coming back regardless. So do you have a system for that? No? Well, I've got that as well. Here's what I can do for you, and here's how much it's going to cost you. So that's the plan, step by step, bite-sized kind of goals here for us to meet.
Another really good question from Jean was, do you guys target mainly restaurants that are actively running ads? I'm going to go through just quickly show you a really good opportunity where you can almost, one of the things where we almost really win on is making clients understand what it is that we do. So for example, I'm going to look at like, for example, a steak restaurant now. So this is the ads library. So anyone that's running an ad on Facebook, you can basically see their restaurant now. So let's just say I've put steak restaurant here. So if they're already spending on marketing, that's fantastic, because we can say, okay, you're already doing something, let me do this better for you. So this one as an example here, the Spiritualist, they've got 50% off the restaurant. They're saying book now. So one of the things that we make really, really clear is the call to action of the ad. Like we said on this webinar, on this early before, we said crafting ads that get meetings booked. We on purposely didn't try to optimize for sale. We're not saying buy this product from us straight away. We're saying just come to the meeting. The same way here with the restaurant, they're saying this is our steak restaurant, book your table now. Now imagine you as a customer now, you're scrolling through Instagram or Facebook and you see this restaurant and they're saying book now. The likelihood of you booking a table there and then is very, very slim, because you're just not ready. You've just seen an ad. You're not going to book a table there and then, nor are you going to order now. So what it comes down to is you're not really going to make an action on any of these ads. But what we say is, okay, what we're optimizing for is the signups, just the voucher. So instead of this being book now, it would be get your voucher now. And then it will be click onto it. They're going to sign up for the voucher. We've acquired that customer's data. We can send them emails and texts. And then we know that this customer is interested, and then we can follow up with them later if they don't come in. If they do come in, fantastic. If they don't come in, even better. We've got more opportunities. So showing a restaurant this functionality and these sort of things that you can do is really, really important, because a lot of the time, that's what almost wins us clients and saying, look, why am I trying to optimize for, don't know what these sort of things are. Hang on. It's just asking, okay, what do I want a customer to do straight away? So here, they're saying shop now. It's probably taking them to the ordering page. Shop now, it's taken them to the wrong places. So call now, even they're all doing the wrong thing. But if you can say, okay, all we're doing is trying to get a voucher, it really, really makes them understand that, okay, that there's value in the data and there's value in what these guys are offering. So yeah, just obviously because Jean asked, and it was something that was.
No, I think it's great. I'm really happy that he's asked, because I would have probably forgotten about this. And if you understand the power of this, like, this is crazy. And if you can explain this to your potential client, because it's not just for restaurant, it's for anybody, right? It's just the same way, like I'm saying, is that we want to strategize and we want to bite-size our goal. Our end goal from the beginning is not right. We want a client. No, we don't want a client. Our initial goal is we just want to speak to them. So what do we need to do? Okay, the ad is going to get us that meeting, right? So the ad needs to, the aim of the ad is to speak to them, right? And then in the call, we're going to try and give them the free trial, right? To buy their trust, right? for them to trust us, to have that confidence and faith. We're still not selling to them, right? When they're on the call, I've shown them the product, how we're still not selling to them, right? Then we're saying, right, on the second call, we're saying, so it's very strategic, Don. Exactly the same thing you're repeating for your clients. And these are the same things you're explaining to them, right? When you do an ad, don't do book now, because nobody's ready to book. If they wanted to book, they will find you, or they will find whoever they want to book, and they will book, right? You are going to them, they're not coming to you. So when you go to them, you have to bite-size the goal. So the goal should be not to book now. It's to say, hey, they should say, hey, that's an amazing offer. You know what? Whether I go or not, I'll decide later. But let me just download it because it's telling me that I can grab my voucher now, and I'll save it. I'll go after. Whether I go or not, that's a different story, right? But of course, once it's in their wallet, you got notifications, you got SMS, you got email, all that stuff. So that's amazing. Great question. I'm really happy that you've asked. And I think if you can understand this and master and explain it to your clients, guys, it's going to do you wonders. So we're in the end, I think we've answered the questions more or less. So if you have more questions coming in, let's answer those.
Yeah, I think we've got perfect timing. We managed to sort of we've just got about 4 or 5 minutes left to answer some questions. But yeah, to put it quite short, this is something that we've tried ourselves, we've seen success with, and if you can have a really there's ways of having a really sort of clean and effective and streamlined process, and saying, okay, all we want you to do is show up to this meeting, and do what you can to really follow up on the meeting beforehand, call up on the day prior to the meeting and say, oh, we're still on for this time, and just make sure that they're in the right space, they understand certain things, ask them questions about what they're already doing, because a lot of the times restaurants are already doing something. Like we'll say, oh, we've had this influencer or this blogger in, or we've done a leaflet or this or that. Every single opportunity, every single sort of marketing campaign that they're doing is an opportunity for us to just plug in Boomerang and generate data, which is the long run stuff. And another way of seeing it is, it's almost everything's transactional. Like you have to think is, okay, you're giving a customer 50% off. What are you getting in return? You need to see it as, okay, I'm going to give a customer 50% off, but I'm also capturing data as well. And that's really valuable. And then you make these things clear of, okay, this is what you can do with that data. And already they start seeing the sort of the road sort of being paved ahead of them, and they think, okay, this is where this can go. But yeah, I can see a couple of questions come in. Number 2 questions. Is this usable for retail? Yeah, I don't see why not. If you've got a small sort of a store, I don't see why it would be the same thing where you're saying, okay, for example, if you've got a clothes store and you're saying a 20% off voucher or something when you come in store, sign up and you get a promo code. Or for example, if you've got a Shopify front or something like that, Boomerang does obviously integrate with Shopify from what I'm aware. So it's something where you can give them a promo code or something like that. What's the price? I think I sort of touched on this before. Is what you want to charge. So what we charge, we try to keep it around about the £500 mark, where it's not crazy expensive, but it's not sort of a walk in the park either way. I feel like it's a sweet spot. Some people do feel like it's expensive. Some people do feel like it's sort of at where it should be. But yeah, pricing is depending on what you sort of provide as a service overall. Linda says this presentation was fantastic. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the feedback. It was sort of done sort of last minute, but I appreciate the feedback. I didn't get to watch the demo for Boomerang itself. Where can I see that?
There will be plenty of videos on YouTube. Gary, where else? We have a lot of webinars as well. Are they all in YouTube?
Yeah, also you could open our YouTube channel, and yeah, I'll send this link. And Corey, if you need to get the Boomerang Me demo, you could use this link. Let me share this link to the chat.
Oh, sorry, as in the demo. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Fernando's asking, if possible, can you show the setup in Business Manager for the ads? So it's a bit more it's of a technical question, but I'll quickly just run into it and show you how we generally do our ads, because you've asked or tell us the objective that we use. So I'll show you an example of client that we've recently just worked with, but this is generally how we set up an ad for our clients. So we're going with the offer. So in this case, he gave a free burger. And then in terms of the objective, we usually use traffic. Traffic tends to just work the best. It gives us sort of the best sort of costing wise. It sort of goes to quite a lot of people. And what we want people to do is obviously click onto it and sign up from it. In terms of targeting, generally we keep, because obviously it's food, we can almost target everybody because it depends on your sort of business and who you're targeting. But for the most part, with our clients, with restaurants, we usually do with, okay, who do you think is appropriate? So in this case, we just literally, the only targeting that we did was 14 kilometers outside of the restaurant's radius, pretty much. So that's who we target. We don't really go into too much of, okay, target this person who likes XYZ. You can do, and there's no harm in trying that. But that's generally what we do as a rule of thumb, just to sort of keep the sort of cast the net wide and go from there. And in terms of our graphics and our ads, we have a mixture of static images like this, where we're saying free burger, get your voucher now. And we have, for example, videos where it's stuff like but obviously, if you're in the marketing space, I'm sure you'll have resources on behalf of your clients where you'll have a mixture of videos, photos, everything else. So yeah, it's just, that's generally what I'd say, just to sort of put it quite quickly.
This is a live campaign, right, Nadim?
It's just finished now, but literally last month it's one that's finished. It's not live anymore, but we've just finished that campaign, and that was their first campaign. And we've actually I'm pretty sure I've got the numbers here, but I think I've mentioned it on another webinar before. But that was one where it was the first campaign. We tried to cast the net wide with the graphics and the videos and the styles of ad that we do, just so we've captured all bars and we can sort of see what's working and what's not. And that's another very important thing to go at with. So, for example, at the end of the 2 weeks, we can say, "Oh, right, you provided us 6 videos and 6 photos. We know what style of content works on the ads because we've now done all the testing, and we can say, all right, this video worked well and this photo worked well. Let's do more photos and videos like this one because we've tried it once and it seems to have worked. So let's go into that. Let's go into that even further." And what you're then doing is optimizing, and you're making things work even better. If you have more information on your campaigns, then you can say, okay, we've tried this last time. Let's expand into a little bit more, and it should obviously work out a little bit cheaper or better or more cost effective, or you should get better bang for your buck in future campaigns. So there's loads of things that you can do off of the back of this 2-week campaign. So you really want to just impress that client over the first 2 weeks, give them the results that they want, give them support, give them the sort of the walkthrough of how the systems work. They will the beauty of Boomerang is they will see the customers come in with the card. So they will see, all right, they're not going to forget about you because they're going to be seeing the customers.
There's no fluff. That's the main thing.
There's no fluff. It's literally just growth on growth, expansion on expansion, and really setting the path for what the next steps are for their business. But there's a lot of potential, pretty much.
Yeah. And if you're somebody like thinking, okay, well, I don't have a lot of knowledge on meta ads and X, Y, and Z. Look, guys, nowadays it's pretty simple. ChatGPT should be a new best friend, right? Just ask it, just give them all the information. Hey, I want to do a campaign for, whatever it is a restaurant, salon, this, that is called this. Their USP is this. They're located here. Next to it, they have these business. They're in an area where X, Y, and Z, explain the demographic. I want to do an offer. The offer is this, what do you suggest? What should I use? What caption should I use? What sort of images should I use? X, Y, and Z. ChatGPT will give you everything, right? And then you just kind of build it in Facebook. So you've got to kind of, if you're not familiar with that side, you just have to maybe spend a few days kind of doing a bit of research, understanding how that side works. And then really it's just about being a little bit strategic, knowing what you're doing, getting the initial few wins, and then use those results to close more clients.
Yeah, 100%. Once you've done one, the next one's just become easier and easier and easier. And then it comes to a point where usually sales can be a bit daunting, but with a process like this, because you're not trying to sell a client, it becomes a lot more of a comfortable conversation. You're not talking about pricing almost in that first thing. You're not trying to get them to commit. So you have that flexibility of being able to just be just more comfortable with the product overall, and then knowing the product inside out. Anytime you have they have a question, or a lot of the times what will happen with prospects and restaurant owners, and they'll try to throw you off. They'll ask you complicated and difficult questions, like how I think Norman did before, talking about, oh, why should I go with you and not going directly with Boomerang? And we're saying, okay, we've got an answer for that. It's something where we've tried this, it's worked. Either you can pay me to do this, or you can try and learn this yourself, and be in the dark, or allow it to give it to someone that's professional, that knows what they're doing, and will get you results, and get you results quicker as well. If not quicker, then more effectively, and overall just saving your time pretty much. So there's a lot of benefits to do it.
Yep. Any other questions? We've done our hour now.
Business on Bing is good too, because the search engine. Yeah, Corey's got a good point there. So I guess if that's another service that you provide, then that goes hand in hand with your pricing on what you can charge. If you feel like you know what the going price is for a service like that, it's literally you'll just charge it. And before you know it, once you've bundled a few of these services together, you've got quite a high ticket product. And then you've also got the numbers to back it up as well. So it should be a long-term product as well, a long-term subscription. That lifetime value of that client with you should be a lot higher as well.
Yeah, I don't see any new question in our chat, and I want to say thank you guys for this presentation. Actually, it was so helpful for our agencies, and I want to share the one link in our chat. It's a link to our private school community, and today webinar was useful. Previous webinar was useful and helpful too. But in this group, you could find more information. And let me share my screen and show what you get. 1 minute. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Yeah. It's our private group. It costs just $17 per month. It's a no-brainer. Here we have a lot of meetings per week. It's 4 meetings per week with our team, with some our experts like Ariel, for example. Also here you could see some educational courses. It's an educational course from Kamal. Yeah, let's click. It's a lot of model and some resources. It's very useful information, and we have a lot of community here. I mean, 150 members. It's our paid agency who use our product every day, and you could find a lot of tips in this community and get some support from our team and from our experts. I think it's very useful thing to use it, and please use this link, subscribe, and you could find a lot of information in this community. That's all from my side. Thank you again. And I think we could make another session with more information to deep dive in the restaurant tactics. And see you next time, guys.
Yeah, thank you for your time, everybody. If you've got any more questions or suggestions about next webinars or anything, we'd really appreciate it. We want to really give you as much value as we can. So we're working on a few resources anyway, because a lot of these questions, they will be in some of the resources that we are working on. But if you've got any questions or and need any help, it's part of the Boomerang community. So just drop us a message or drop a message in the school or the Facebook. We'll be happy to pick it up.
Right, awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gary.
You.
Thank you soon.
Thank you, Gary. Take care.